2.5 years ago, Shane Lehman would be suiting up in hockey equipment instead of scrubs. That was before the Junior A player needed a heart transplant.
We're on the ice every day, we work out every day, so we're in pretty good shape. And I started feeling weird when I was about 19, didn't think anything of it. Played that year, and then I started my 20-year-old year, and just getting more tired throughout the year. And I figured out I was out of shape, so I was getting in the gym more often. And at the end of that season, I went to Vegas for my 21st birthday, and then I just got really sick.
While in Vegas, Lehman's strange symptoms continued to worsen.
Couldn't sleep on my back anymore, had to sleep sitting up. And I didn't have an appetite, didn't want to drink anything.
He was sent to the Mazankowski Alberta Heart Institute for care, where he was told he needed a new heart.
I didn't understand, so they said I got I had a virus, like a flu, and sometimes it just works its way to your heart or your chest and infects it. So what they call it is dilated viral cardiomyopathy. So my heart was too big to pump to any of my organs.
With time running out and no donor to be found, the only option was a ventricular assist device, or VAD.
I had met with a VAD physician, and this was basically my only option if I wanted to stay alive. So they came up to me with two different options, and obviously I wanted the smaller one rather than the bigger one. But he said quality of life, it'll be normal for me. I mean, I like to play sports a lot of times, so it's a little tough. But I wanted to feel better, so if this is what it took, then I was able to do that, and I went right ahead with it.
Lehman says the time in the hospital took a toll.
When I was sick, I remember I've never seen my father cry before. I remember as soon as they told him, he burst into tears because he thought it was his fault because he had a heart attack when he was 30, so he thought he'd passed something down to me, but really it was nobody's fault.
Even though Lehman is doing extremely well with his VAD, he remains on the transplant list.
What's tough about what they keep telling me, since I'm doing so well, it's not that important to find a heart. And basically, when I get sick, I'm gonna be very sick, so it might be too late to even throw a heart in, so it's kind of a catch-22. I mean, if I'm higher up in the list, that means I'm basically dying, whereas if I'm in the middle, I'm fine, I'm okay. So I'm all right with just being in the middle. If something comes up, then they can throw it in, but I'm doing fine on this, so why change it, right?
Throughout his ordeal, Lehman has told his friends not to treat him any differently. Of course, keeping a sense of humor along the way has helped.
My best friend came in, and I guess the first thing I said to him was, "Can you get me a Kit Kat because I'm dying?" But really, I didn't know I was actually dying. So with the comedy, I think it keeps everything a little bit lighter. I mean, they understand that it's a big deal, but I've told them, don't treat me like the sick guy. Treat me like you used to treat me, because it's better that way. I don't always want to be around and people are babysitting me almost. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Are you okay? Because that's not what I want.
Even though Lehman remains on the transplant list, he's optimistic about his future. He's active in sports, and he's also pursuing a career in nursing.
My doctors aren't too pleased about me playing beer league hockey, but that's where I want to be. I mean, I'm fairly careful out there, so if that's what keeps my stress level low and keeps me healthy, then I see no harm in doing it.
The life-changing experience was all he needed to decide he wanted to be a pediatric cardiac nurse.
I was in here for 65 days. I got to interact with 30, 40 nurses, and you get to see what they do all day long. So, I mean, they're tending to me for 12 hours at a time. So you don't see the same thing every day. You get to interact with people and communicate. You're not just sitting behind a desk filling out paperwork, or you're actually you're with coworkers, you're with 30 coworkers, and they're all your friends. So it just seems like a nice place to be, really.
And a place where he feels a real connection.
And I mean, if I go down with an issue with my heart, this is where I would want to do that. So I have no problems. I have no worries working in a hospital, whereas if I was in an office, I go down with something, no one knows what to do, and they have to ship me here and all that, whereas I'm already here and they know what to do.
Tammy Karatchuk, Shaw TV, Capital Region.